guys, this is Burrs. I'm here with Nate Mert and Vanguard the Grip Stop, and we're going to show you how to make your own shooting tripod in your home, in your kitchen, like we did for my AR-15, in your garage, wherever you're at. We'll show you how to make one. All right, so what we got here is we have Nate's own personal Hog Saddle on top of his shooting tripod here. So, you know, what do you got going on here as far as yours goes?
Well, I guess we gotta be careful about calling it a Hog Saddle because I'm pretty sure that's copyrighted, right? But so the deal with this is, before the product Hog Saddle came out, guys would make their own shooting support out of photography tripods, right? So, I mean, I'm a huge advocate for the Hog Saddle. It's a great piece of gear, but it's also kind of an expensive piece of gear that Army and Marine Corps snipers will buy out of their own pocket or with unit funds. So it's one of those things where sometimes you're lucky enough to get one issued, other times, you know, you're gonna have to spend your own cash on it. Essentially what it is it's an attachment that goes on a tripod that will grip onto your rifle forearm and allow you to use a tripod as a shooting support. So the days before the Hog Saddle, and that's actually where the Hog Saddle came from, was a former scout sniper in the Marine Corps came up with the device. Where he probably got the idea was from how guys made their own supports. So there's a couple different ways of making a support. One of the most common ways you'll see is guys would take a PVC pipe and cut it down the center so it'd be like a bowl, like a U shape. Right. They would drill a hole through it and then run a screw through the PVC pipe and into the shoe of the tripod. The problem with that is it's big and it's open. The rifle can slide up and down like this. It's not as secure of a grip on the rifle. Guys were always looking for a better mousetrap, like what's a better way to make a shooting support. So this technique was taught to me by a really good guy, a great Marine, Nate Hutt, who's a very accomplished scout sniper. And this is his preferred method. So this is actually where I learned this from my buddy Nate Hutt. What you'll see is a lot of guys using Manfrotto tripods and high-end photography tripods because they're strong, they're light. It's the same thing, like guys don't always get issued those expensive tripods. Sometimes they have to buy it out of pocket. Well, the carbon fiber Manfrotto tripods, you know, buku bucks, yeah. It's a lot of money. So what you'll see is a lot of guys just buy their own tripods and make their own shooting support, right? So this is one that I made years ago, and you can see it's pretty beat up. It was like a $50 tripod I got like Walmart or, you know, a place like that. Even though it's given me years of faithful, loyal service, it's pretty much trash. This thing's on its last legs. At the time, I couldn't find a black tripod or something that wasn't silver. So this is like a brushed silver, which is not ideal. So I had to periodically keep repainting this over and over and over. If I would have had a black anodized tripod, then I probably could have gotten away with not painting as often, because when the paint would flake off, it would be black underneath. It wouldn't be as shiny. So this was not the preferred format. But if memory recalls, I was under a time hack and I had to have this thing finished in time, and this is literally the only tripod I could find. So what the tripod allows you to do is it opens up alternative shooting positions to you, right? In the movies, you always see like a precision marksman, you see a sniper, whatever. You see them using the prone position a lot, and the reason why they do that is because the prone is the most stable firing platform. So, you know, if you go back to the movie like Sniper with Tom Berenger, like slithering through the jungles with Billy Zane, you know, like a lot of the shots being taken are from the prone. All right. It's obviously ideal, but what we found over the last, you know, 10 or so years of global war and terror is that it's not always possible. Sometimes guys are going to make their hide site in a building or in tall grass or something that obscures their line of sight where they can no longer get the prone position. So having a tripod with you, regardless if it's from the military sniper point of view or the police sniper point of view, or just being a civilian, using it for hunting applications or whatever it might be, it's definitely a good piece of gear to carry. This thing only weighs probably about 5 pounds or so, but it's 5 pounds of gear that's going to help increase the likelihood of me getting a hit, so it's worth carrying, right? I keep mine in my drag bag with my rifle, my dope book, and all my other miscellaneous precision rifle gear. Right. I'll even take this thing out deer hunting. I just shot a groundhog the other day using this and my 22 bolt action I got when I was 12 years old.
Wasn't that on your Instagram?
Yeah.
No, one picture?
Yeah, so I zapped a groundhog out of my kitchen using this as a support. Anybody that's ever shot a groundhog before knows that they're tough creatures, so I had to get a headshot to take this thing down with the little 22 bolt action I've had forever. Right. So I accomplished a more precise shot by using support in form of this shooting tripod and a small foldable stool. That's the long and short of the shooting tripod. It helps you. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it, and there's a lot of different ways you can make them. but this is my preferred way of making a shooting tripod and making your own homemade hog saddle.
All right, so what we got here is a Vanguard tripod. I found this on Amazon. I went searching through a lot of different tripods. I wanted to keep it under $60, under $50, because I didn't want the project to be excessively expensive. And what I found was this one, this Vanguard. They make different ones as far as positions go, height goes, weight. I wanted something in between lightweight and heavyweight. So this is kind of, you know, more towards the lightweight scale, but it's not heavyweight at all. You know, how do you feel about that? It's pretty freaking lightweight.
Yeah, it is pretty light.
Yeah, so you don't have to pack in a ton of weight. This was, like I said, around 50 bucks. Like I said, I got it on Amazon. So the one thing I actually did ahead of time is, since it's, you know, it's like 90-some degrees a day, it's humid as hell.
It's really humid today.
And then it's actually on my Instagram account. I went ahead and painted this a while. A bunch of different paints. If you guys want to know how to paint stuff, there's tons of videos on my channel, me and you, and there's tons of stuff on my Instagram, your Instagram, just about painting stuff. So we didn't really want to get in that today and kind of bog the video down as far as, you know, making the tripod, so we're not going to do that today. Now there's bungee around the outside, which I put on there as well. This is a 1/4 inch. You put that on there, my assumption would be for like foliage and stuff like that if you want to.
Right, so you see on mine I have this elastic bungee cord, right, which you can get on eBay or online, a bunch of different places. I also have old military boot bands. Guys will use whatever they have. If you have a bunch of old camouflage bungee cords, you can just cut the ends off the bungee cords and use that. You use boot bands, you use elastic. There's remnants of rubber bands that I'm pulling off here. They're not ideal, you don't want to use rubber bands, but you can if you need to. The whole point of this is you zip tie the bungee cord on, and you leave it loose enough that you can pull it out and you can stuff natural vegetation inside it, and then it'll hold it there to help camouflage the bipod legs. So depending on where you're at and what you're doing with the tripod, if you're in a really grassy area, before you set up your firing point, what you can do is you can cut grass or pull grass and you stuff the same high grass that's in front of you into your tripod, and you can make this tripod completely disappear. And the cool thing is that you can build it up, keep building it up. You build it up around the rifle. You can really do an effective camouflage job by just using natural vegetation. So basically you're making a little ghillie suit for your tripod and your rifle out of that elastic.
Right.
So that's just a means of retaining the foliage to the tripod itself.
Yeah, and the stuff I got here, this is Coyote Brown. It's a little bit blended in with the camo job, but you know, 20 feet of this ran me like $4 on eBay for free shipping. So it's not really expensive to find like 1/4 inch bungee to do the project. So
as far as camouflage, whatever color you want, whatever your own rattle cam job you want to do on it, and then get the elastic, and you can go to like Home Depot and Lowe's and stuff and get these little tiny zip ties. They don't have to be camouflage. They make them in like tan and green and stuff, but the black ones work fine. Basically you're just going to use that to secure the bungee to the tripod. Alternatively, some guys get fancy with it and they'll put these little toaster cord locks right at the bottom or the top, so they can let a lot of the material out, and then they can stuff it in and they can just basically cinch it in tight when it's all done. I don't prefer that, some guys do. I just like to have it basically fixed at the bottom of the leg and at the top of the leg, so I can just, like I said, pull it out, stuff in vegetation, and let go, and it sticks there. I mean, you're going to lose vegetation. If you go and move the tripod, stuff's going to fall out. It'll retain some of it, but that doesn't really matter. So that's pretty much it for the tripod. It stands about 21 inches, 2 feet, something like that. You're going to use a tripod for every shooting position but prone. If you're in the prone, you're shooting off your bipod, right? If you're shooting through high grass or out of a window, well, then you need that elevation. So this is a good height for the sitting position, for the kneeling position. If I need to stand, then I can just deploy the legs and I can make the tripod taller. So basically, don't look at it as like, well, that's too tall, I can't use it from the prone. You're not going to use it for that. That's not what this is for.